You haven't brought the books with you, Gratz. I have the money ready, but you were to bring the books.
I brought this instead.
What do you expect to accomplish with a gun? Hold me up?
We'll talk about it in the other room. Move along.
Very well.
Stand right there.
As you say.
Where's Nina Campo?
Why?
Where is she?
In the next room.
Tell her to come in here.
What has she to do with this?
Dietrich, this gun can do ugly damage. Tell Nina Campo to come in here.
Nina!
Yes, Mr. Dietrich?
Come in here, please.
Right away.
Now, really, Gratz, what is this all about?
As if you didn't know.
Yes, Mr. Dietrich, what is...
I was taken aback by Gratz's gun, too, Nina.
I don't understand, Gratz.
You can stop acting, both of you.
Mr. Dietrich, what's the matter with Gratz?
Nina, you really had me fooled. Every minute you spent with me was for him.
Gratz, I don't know what you're talking about.
You are just using me all the time.
Please. I don't understand.
Where are they, Nina?
They...
The books. Wolf's account books. The ones you stole from the closet in my hotel room.
I didn't, Gratz. You must believe me, I didn't.
A nice scheme Dietrich had, Nina. Using you to keep tabs on me. Very clever.
Believe me, I didn't steal those books.
You were the only one who knew where they were. And that's why you were so worried yesterday. You were afraid I'd hidden them somewhere else.
No.
And when I was out this morning, you came into my room.
That's not true. Ask Mr. Dietrich. Tell him, Mr. Dietrich. Tell him I haven't left here all day.
But, Nina, you did.
That's a lie. You know I wasn't out of here. Tell him the truth, Mr. Dietrich.
Nina left the hotel this morning and was gone for an hour.
Mr. Dietrich, he'll kill me.
What a pity.
Dietrich, it's a pity for both of you.
Believe me, Gratz, I had nothing to do with this. It's all quite new to me. Evidently, Nina has played us both for fools.
It won't work, Dietrich. You're both going to die.
Wait, Gratz, don't shoot.
Oh, I'm not going to shoot.
What?
I'm a perfectionist, remember. I deal in fire. Dietrich, you and Nina will have the same accident which disposed of Wolf. You see this metal tube? An incendiary. All I do is release the cap, then lock this door from the outside. In no time at all, it will be over for you, too.
Drop that gun, Gratz.
Never.
Oh, my hand.
Get his gun, Peter. Beside that chair. Got it, Liv.
He was going to kill us. Thank heavens you arrived. Whoever you are.
Dietrich, I don't think you'll like who we are.
What?
This is David Harding, chief of the United States Counter Spies.
Counter spies?
Those account books of Wolf. They're in the Counter Spy New York field office, ready for presentation to the federal grand jury in the morning.
What?
Yes, Gratz, we got them out of your room, not Nina Campo. I had an idea that their sudden absence would provide the evidence I wanted, and it did. Evidence, Gratz, that will finish both your career and Dietrich's in the electric chair.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counter Spy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counter Spy case of the courageous Come On.
Our Counter Spy case on Thursday is one of the most unusual we've yet presented. In this case, you'll meet the girl who was good at being bad until she saw a blind spot. The promoter who believed the sword was mightier than the pen and used it to escape. And the extraordinary half-man who had enough courage for 2 ordinary men. Be sure to be tuned in on Thursday, day after tomorrow, to
Case of the courageous Come on Counter Spy. Tonight's Counter Spy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bast, written by Edward J. Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mansell Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counter Spy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight.
75 years ago, September 6, 1949, Counter Spy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I want to take a moment here. I always thank the people who have done so many nice things. Honeywell, who had bought us some more Dr. Peppers over at classicradio.stream, said he had never heard the Chase and Sanborn Hour. And I think that variety show is ignored by a lot of people simply because, A, it is so old, it goes back to the 30s, but B, that many of these shows concentrate strictly on dramas and comedies, and they don't get into the variety shows, which Chase and Sanborn absolutely was. Some delightful comedy and stuff in there, but I thank you, Honeywell, for acknowledging that, and I think that is something that a lot of us don't pay attention to, that there's so many great shows out there, and so many good shows that we never get to hear. Witness Confession, which we're going to hear up next here. One of those shows that was quite good, but wasn't perfect. I ask you always to rate or review our shows on whatever app you listen to them on. Share them with your friends. That helps us bring more people in and helps us keep this program running. Visit our page, classicradio.stream. If you can support us through the Buy Me a Coffee function, that's greatly appreciated as well. But review us and tell us what you got out there. That costs you nothing. If you can just like it and share it with your friends, that costs you nothing. Let people know that we're out here doing this because it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and I hope you do as well. All right, coming up in just a moment here, we'll have an episode of Confession going back 71 years and the story of a 15-year-old that boo-booed.
Owning a rental property sounds like a dream until you realize how much work goes into getting it ready. Determine a competitive rent price, market the property, schedule the showing, screen tenants, draft up the lease, set up rent collection, handle maintenance requests, maintain tenant communication. Whew, sound complicated? Renter's Warehouse is here to take the hard work off your rental to-do list. Qualified tenants? Check. Rent collection? Check. Maintenance coordination? You got it. Go to renterswarehouse.com for a free rental analysis to find out how much your home can rent for. Or call 952-444-6996 because from now on, the only thing you need on your to-do list is to call Renter's Warehouse.
Everyone wants to change the house they're going to move into or update the one they live in. Hi, Brad Stile with C&D Granite. Are you planning to host a grad party or family reunion this summer? Odds are good that people will be spending most of their time in your kitchen. Now's the time to give your kitchen a makeover with new granite countertops.
Work with the guys with the unlimited guarantee. You see, when you partner with C&D, they offer an unlimited lifetime guarantee. For as long as you own your home, they've got your granite covered. Located in Richmond and Brooklyn Center. Visit cdgranite.com.
For years, you asked yourself, how do I save more money? But now it's, how do I preserve my money? Someone's asking the right questions. And at Sandy Spring Trust, we'll answer them one-on-one. From asset management to legacy and estate planning, you can feel confident in what's to come. What's your next financial destination? Visit sandyspringbank.com/wealth. Wealth and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not guaranteed, and may lose value. Wealth products offered by Sandy Spring Trust, a division of Sandy Spring Bank.
My roommate and I both file tax form 1040A.
Because we make less than $50,000 a year.
That's for sure.
We don't have to itemize. We do it ourselves.
Even if we had more than $400 in interest income or $400 in dividends, we probably could use this form.
The IRS will even compute our tax for us on the 1040A.
More time for reading, relaxing.
And laundry.
1040A. Check the instructions to see if you can use it.
Remember, the sooner you file, the less time to get your refund.
That's the part I like.
A message from the IRS.
Hi, I'm Sarah Purcell. The IRS has over 90 free publications to help you with your taxes. Use the order form in your tax package to get any of them. Let the IRS work for you.
Alrighty, and now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Confession. This episode, the story of George S. Andrus, goes back 71 years, September 6th, 1953.
The confession you are about to hear is an actual tape recording.
All right, read the statement, please.
I make this confession of my own free will because it is true. There has not been any force or violence used upon my person to induce me to make these statements. Without promise of immunity or reward or gratuity, I confess.
You understand, of course, that your statement will be made public through the radio program Confession.
I do.
And that your name for the purpose of this broadcast will be George S. Andrus.
Yes, sir.
For what comfort you may find in so doing, you'll now be permitted to tell your story. Do you understand all this?
Yes, sir. I understand.
You are listening to Confession. This case history of the subject referred to as George S. Andrus is a matter of documented record. You will hear the story of his crime experience as told in his own words.
All right. Go ahead, George.
I don't know what to say.
Well, just talk about yourself. How old are you?
I'm 15. But everyone takes me for 18 or 20. You think I look like I'm 18?
I guess you do, son.
Well...
You were born in San Francisco, weren't you?
Yeah, on Washington Avenue. Mm-hmm. It was a big house, 12 rooms.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, sir, I don't.
It's a pretty big house for just a boy and his mother and father, isn't it?
Well, we had a housekeeper, too. Her name was Mrs. Houston. I remember last summer I was sitting in the living room reading some comic books. Some kids outside were tossing a football around.
George, why don't you go out and play football with the boys? George?
Oh, Mrs. Houston, I don't feel like playing football.
Don't you want to learn to play, George?
Learn? If I wanted to, I could have made the school team easy. Coach even asked me. George, he said...
There you go with your lies again.
Well, he did.
It's almost frightening the way you go on. You're almost 15, George. Almost a man, and look at the size of you. You're bigger than your father.
Did you get a letter from them today?
Yes. Maybe next time you'll go along with them.
Oh, I could have gone. Dad even said to me, George, we want you along. This trip won't mean anything unless you're with us.
Stop lying, George. He said no such thing.
He did. He did, too.
For your own good, George, face the truth. You know it as well as I do. He didn't ask you. Did he, George? Tell me.
No, they didn't want me along.
That's better, George. Much better.
I guess it'd been about 5 years since I'd been anywhere with him.
You mean with your folks?
Yes, sir. Oh, I don't blame them, I guess. My mother, she's a beautiful lady.
Of course.
And my dad, his name is Charles, but they call him Chuck. I've never had a nickname. Wish I had.
Go on.
Well, my folks got back from that trip all right, but I didn't see very much of them.
Mm-hmm.
I knew one way to make them realize I was still around. Dad came home from his office one day. I was in the backyard knocking a croquet ball around.
George?
Hi, Dad.
George, I want to talk to you.
Okay, Dad.
George, did you take some money out of Mrs. Houston's bag?
Me? What would I do a thing like that for?
$2 and a gold pin, George. Did you take them?
A gold pin? What would I want with a lady's gold pin?
Did you take them, George? Answer me.
No, sir.
George, you're lying.
If a fella's own father can't believe him.
Mrs. Houston found the pin on top of your night table, and the money was in your drawer.
Maybe she tried to frame me.
Oh, stop it. Right on top of the night table. Almost as if you wanted